Hello and welcome to this edition of Fifth Quarter. I'm Kyle Girding.
And I'm Mahela Stevens. On this edition of Fifth Quarter, we'll be looking at a future NCAA women's soccer player, take a look at some spring sports recap, and take a look at a tight relationship between a track star and their dad.
All this and more on this edition of Fifth Quarter.
Spring sports are in full swing, which means it's time for a player spotlight. In this segment, we focus on a player who has big plans after high school.
Hi everyone, today I'm here with senior soccer player Lindsay Mashburn to find out a little bit more about how her sport has shaped her high school experience. What was your greatest accomplishment throughout your high school soccer career?
Last night we just beat West for the first time in like 4 years, so since I've been here that I know of, which was a big deal because obviously it's West, so it's like the rival.
Who has been the most influential in your career and helped you succeed the most?
I think it's definitely probably my dad, just because ever since I was little he used to coach me, so he's just always been there and very supportive of everything, and he'll make sure I get to practice, get everywhere, and both of my parents are so willing to put in the time and effort to make sure I get all the training and go everywhere I need to be.
And are you pursuing soccer in the future, and if so, where?
Yes, I'll be playing soccer at Northwest Missouri State University for 4 years, and then after that, that's kind of it.
Awesome. And what are you looking forward to the most about playing in college?
I'm looking forward to in college, it's just automatically you get all the friends on the team, and it's just this big community, especially because we all go down there in the summer before everyone else gets there, and we get to really bond and get to know everyone. It's just kind of the family and unity you get from that, and the best friends you make out of that.
Thank you so much for joining us, Lindsay, and good luck this season.
Thank you.
It just so happens that Lindsay Mashburn scored one of her goals in this recap of the girls' soccer team playing Staley on April 1st.
On April 1st, the girls' soccer team took on Staley in their home conference opener. The Tigers came out of the gate strong, scoring off a header from Lindsay Mashburn early on in the match. The girls gained many opportunities off free kicks, as Staley continued to foul them over and over again. At the end of the first half, the Tigers scored again to increase their lead, but the goal was called back, as the referee said the ball had gone out of bounds before it was crossed and eventually scored. At half, the Tigers led 2-0 over Staley, and they would continue to hold that lead for the rest of the game. The defense, led by Jessica Natzer, Kennedy Gunter, and goalkeeper Lauren Berry, had another strong showing on April 1st, as they were able to shut out Staley throughout the entire game. The Tigers went on to win the match 3-0, giving them another conference win and boosting their record to 3-1. Signing out for Fifth Quarter, I'm Luke Rule.
COVID-19 definitely has its drawbacks, but in this next segment, Jordan Wood finds some Lee Summit High School students who have found good in this pandemic.
Golf is oftentimes a sport that people don't consider to ever be a potential hobby or competitive interest.
My only perspective of golf was watching my dad watch it on TV when I was little. Sometimes I would go with him, and I thought it was kind of silly, to be honest.
However, with the COVID-19 pandemic shutting down just about everything except grocery stores and golf courses, athletes found themselves starting over with a game they never thought they saw themselves playing.
Whenever you first start playing, it gets really aggravating because you're obviously not very good. And it's one of those things where you want to, regardless of how much time you spend on it, you want to keep getting better.
What started as something pretty casual for Ty eventually turned around into something much more, as his friends picked up clubs too.
I'd say the competitive nature of the sport really drives you to play more, because being competitive with your friends, talking trash, all that kind of stuff, it adds another aspect to it.
Ty isn't the only Lee Summit High School athlete to start playing during the pandemic, and some other new golfers shared some of the misconceptions they found to be untrue whenever they started playing.
A lot of people have said it's really boring, and as I've played more and more, it's really fun if you get your friends together and just have fun, so it's really not that boring like most people say it is.
Since I started playing golf, I most enjoyed the competitive nature of playing with my friends and just going out there on nice days and having some hobby to do.
With the stigma that's surrounded golf for many years being shattered, our new golfers have some advice for those who still haven't started playing.
It may seem boring at the beginning, but once you start playing, it's really fun.
Go pick up a few of your friends, go to the golf course. Just go out to the course and have fun.
I encourage people to go out there, start playing. You don't really need expensive clothes, expensive clubs, expensive balls. You can just go out there with the stuff you have and play and have fun.
Get out there, swing a club, and give golf a go, because golf truly is for everyone. Signing out for fifth quarter, I'm Jordan Wood.
Coming into this season, the baseball team had high expectations. Blake Heisey brings us their highly anticipated conference opener against Park Hill South.
On March 29th, the 1-1 Park Hill South Panthers visited the 2-1 Lee Summit Tigers to open up conference play in a very windy day at Legacy. Gavin Wilson started on the mound for the Tigers and got off to a little bit of a rough start as the Panthers took advantage of some costly defensive errors on the Tigers' side. The Tigers stopped the bleeding with a good heads-up play to catch the runner on his way to second base. After the top of the first, the Panthers were ahead 2-0. Both pitchers would make quick work of the opposing team's hitters in the second inning, and Gavin Wilson would continue his good stretch in the third inning. In the bottom of the third, the Tigers got on the board thanks to good base running by Carson Pomeroy as he stole third, then scored on the next play after a wild pitch. After 3, the score was now 2-1 Panthers. The Panthers were able to put together some timely hitting and plated 3 runs by the end of the half inning. The Tigers now had their work cut out for them as the score was 5-1. Thompson would put together a solid 5th inning for the Tigers, striking out 2, but the home team just could not figure out the Panthers pitching down the stretch. In the 7th and final inning, Avery Dunn would pitch in relief for the Tigers, and the Panthers would add 1 more insurance run, making the score 6-1. In the bottom half of the inning, pinch hitter Austin Robb started a small rally for the Tigers, as he singled to right field, then scored from second on Jackson Summerall's pop-up that the Panthers lost in the wind. The Panthers would eventually take care of business, as Grant Smith flied out to left field to end the game with a final score of 6-2 Panthers. The Tigers would fall to 2-2, while the Panthers improved to 2-1. Signing out for fifth quarter, I'm Blake Heisey.
Our TV8 sports commentators excel at commentating sports, but Elena Twinter gave them a challenge on commentating something besides sports.
We all know our sports directors kill it at commentating the big games.
There too, another great catch going up and getting it with 2 hands and basically just bullying the Panthers and just bulldozing his way closer to the end zone.
They're going to try to keep hammering it down in there. LaRue gets a hand on it this time. It's going to be him that's going to try to finish it off. A little Euro step in the paint.
But here at TBTV8 Sports, we like to put the best to the test. So we're going to see if our sports directors can commentate something a little less athletic.
What?
Don't worry, I think it's safe to say that our sports directors are always up for a challenge. I've given them several clips to commentate, and we're gonna see if they can make regular life at LSHS just as interesting as our football games. Let's see what they've come up with.
And here comes Harrison. He's trying to get into Coach Reese's mobile classroom.
No, he's getting in beside. He's in behind. He's in the room. Sheesh!
And here we have Logan Siebold following COVID protocols.
Oh, Blake, you know what? I hate to cut you off here, but this is world-class technique. Look at that. Wax on, wax off. That's the cleanest table I think I've ever seen.
And here we have what looks like a TikTok, Jordan.
Yeah, TikTok, Musical.ly, one of those two, Blake. I think you're right.
All right, Jordan, here we have Kyle Girding. What's he going to do here?
Oh, look at that. Oh, that's a perfect cartwheel.
And Jordan, we're up here in the booth, so we can't exactly hear what these two are saying, but...
And, well, you can only assume it's hostile here, Blake. This just does not look pretty.
And he's getting up, Jordan. He's, uh-oh.
Parents, hide your kids' eyes. This one could, and they're hugging. Never mind.
What? 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 Tell me when you're going.
Go.
I'm just fist bump ready.
Abby Oldham, Kylie Woodruff, and Mahala Stevens dig deep into a story of a track athlete who has a unique relationship with one of their parents.
Lee Summit High School junior Madison Mears is involved in many activities, but one outshines all the rest.
Track is my favorite sport that I'm doing.
Maddie is a true professional out in the field, and I mean that in the fact that she takes it very seriously what she does. She works hard on all the techniques. I would call her a technician for sure, because she's always working on her technique and making sure that she's doing everything right. What I like is this year Madison's really grown into a good leader. Madison's dad's been a big help, just bringing his experience with throwing.
Though COVID is in the back of her mind, Maddie refuses to throw away her family's track legacy.
My dad, he's practically been throwing like his whole life.
I started doing track when I was about 6. Once I retired in 2000, I kind of tried to just get away from it. Everybody knew me in relation to athletics and track and U.S. track teams, that kind of thing. So I tried to get away from it as much as I could, and I never realized how much I missed it until Madison.
My passion for track comes from my dad. He's the one who pretty much got me started on track, showed me track, and watching him from his meets all around the world.
And so he does a really good job of helping us with the technical, simple things that girls can do to better themselves as throwers.
I threw professionally for about 7.5 years. A number of those years I was ranked top 10 in the world, top 3 or 4 in the U.S. 1999, went to the Pan American Games, won the gold medal there. Then in 2000, that was supposed to be my big Olympic year. I was chosen preseason to make the team. My first outdoor meet, threw a really great personal best throw ever and broke my wrist.
One might think having your award-winning dad as your coach would be just a bit intimidating.
No, I don't feel pressured of him being my coach. He helps me out a lot. He guides me. He pretty much taught me everything when it comes to track. My favorite throw would gotta be disc. That's the one I always work on. I love every minute of it. Especially this year, I've been breaking many of my PRs.
Madison's dad has learned a lot over the years and offers his advice to his daughter.
Same advice I always give, it's perfectly okay to not be the best, but it's never okay not to do your best.
Signing out for Tiger Broadcast.
Nice.
I'm Mahala Stevens.
Lots of people went a little mad this March. Kyle Girding explains why in this next segment.
After 2 years of anxious waiting, college basketball fans were finally given a March Madness, and it surely did not disappoint. To start, let's go through the exhilarating women's tournament. The last lower seed remaining was 6 seed Texas in the Elite Eight, who had an impressive run beating a 3 and a 2 seed to clinch an Elite Eight spot. The Final Four consisted of 3 1 seeds in UConn, Stanford, and South Carolina, with the lone 3 seed in Arizona. Following a clutch steal by South Carolina with under 10 seconds remaining and Stanford up 1, the Gamecocks put up 2 close-range shots for the win, but both rimmed out, ending in heartbreak for South Carolina. On the other side of the bracket, UConn faced off against a gritty Arizona team. It was certainly a tough matchup for Adia Barnes and company, with UConn being one of, if not the best college sports programs in history, and having the first freshman AP Player of the Year in Paige Buckets. The Wildcats were certainly up for the challenge, though, as Aari McDonald was lights out from range, leading her team to complete the upset over UConn by a score of 69-59. It was then set for Stanford and Arizona to face off in the championship game. Stanford came out strong, leading for most of the first half, but Aari McDonald and the Wildcats were not ready to give in. The second half stayed close for the duration as the Wildcats found themselves down 1 with the ball with 7 seconds remaining. Aaron McDonald put up a tough contested shot, but it was offline and Stanford celebrated their 3rd championship in school history. The men's tournament was a frenzy of upsets and wild games coming down to the wire. 7-seed Oregon shocked Luca Garza and 2-seed Iowa in the second round. The East region also consisted of one of the best stories of the tournament, an 11-seed UCLA beating a 2 and a 1 seed to clinch a spot in the Final Four after starting in the first 4. 15-seed Oral Roberts shot their way into a spot in the Sweet 16 after pulling off one of the biggest upsets in tournament history and beating 2-seed Ohio State. The Final Four came down to 1-seeds Gonzaga and Baylor, 2-seed Houston, and 11-seed UCLA. The Bruins played the game of their lives against one of the best teams in college history. Gonzaga kept it close as they were able to make scoring runs and play through their mustache leader in Drew Timme. The Bruins tied it up, looking to go into double overtime. Jalen Suggs and Gonzaga had other plans. In the last game of the tournament, Baylor dominated over Gonzaga to go on to win the national championship.
Signing out for Tiger Broadcast, I'm Kyle Girding.
Thank you for watching this edition of Fifth Quarter.
For packages and more, visit our website, www.tigerbroadcast.com.
Or follow us on Twitter at TBTV8Sports. Once again, I'm Kyle Girding.
And I'm Mahala Stevens. See you next time.